So in my first period class, it's just part of our school culture that you do a devotion in your first period class. And so I let my students vote on a book of the Bible that they wanted to read.
Oh, that's great.
So they chose the book of Revelation. I was thinking, okay, you chose the hardest book, but let's go.
We got this.
And so we would take the first 10 minutes of class, and so now we're towards the end of the school year. So we read through the whole book of Revelation, and so we would just read half of a chapter or a chapter at a time, and I would project it on our screen, and then just ask for 5 volunteers and just break it up. Okay, you read a few verses, you read a few verses, and then we didn't spend a long time on it, so it wasn't this inductive Bible study. But I might just ask them, what are some things that stand out to you? What questions do you have? And some of the questions that they had, I'm like, yeah, I don't know the answer to that either.
Let's look it up.
I don't know what all those creatures are. but then one thing I don't know that I did this well, but I would try to point them back to, we can understand this. We understand that Jesus wins. He triumphs over the bad guys in this story, and we can pray Scripture. And so just trying to lead them in that, okay, what's one verse from this chapter? There's so many beautiful prayers in the Revelation where the creatures are they see Jesus, and the response is just this overflow of worthy are you? And so just trying to get my kids to see that, Scripture is not just a text that we read and then you move on, but actually it's a text that is this springboard of conversation. And so it's something that we can interact with the Lord through and interact with the Lord on, and just see it as kind of the language that can fuel our prayers. So I don't know that they necessarily caught that, because I would invite them sometimes, okay, now you guys you can popcorn pray and we can just pray about the Scripture, and then they'd end up praying about Lord, help those who are taking tests today. That's okay too, but again, but it's maybe seeds are being sown, and not that God obviously God cares about their tests too, because he cares about them, but so I don't know if that was successful, but it's hard to measure success. How do we measure it? But it's just putting the word in front of them and just trusting the Lord that it won't return void. So.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I mean, what a blessing to get to teach them how to study. I mean, they will look back on that for years and years to come. Wow. Yeah. Great job.
Oh, thanks.
That's amazing.
Well, and I think about I became a better student of Scripture even when I was in college taking English classes, because I was, part an English major. And most of my professors, actually, I don't know that I had a single English professor who knew the Lord, but they were really good English professors, and they taught me how to read literature. And so I think even that helped me become a better student of Scripture, and just learning to be a more attentive and observant reader of anything, that can apply to Scripture. And so one thing I'm hoping that my 7th graders take away is just, learning even how to read literature. We read The Hobbit together, and, teaching them to pay attention to what's going on and just be an observant reader, notice things and pay attention to what you notice. I'm hoping that one day they will transfer those skills to Scripture.
Yes.
So.